In this episode, how to set goals when starting real estate investing. If you're wondering how to become a real estate investor, this is the episode for you. As a single professional, I had debt and no savings after my divorce. I always wonder how I can start investing in real estate to secure my future. I studied programs that gave me all the benefits of investing in real estate. Some claim I could start with no money, but I could not find one that gave me the practical, actionable steps I needed. As a wealth advisor, I've met people that own real estate but weren't ahead financially. They were rich, but they weren't wealthy. Then I finally realized that there was one vital component missing that makes someone become wealthy or not. And on the show, I will reveal what I found and give you the step-by-step actions to start investing in real estate and increase your wealth. My name is Araceli. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. This is Araceli, Transitional Wealth Advisor and Real Estate Investor in the US and Canada. And in my weekly chat with Colette, we have an interesting topic today, and it is how to set up goals if you want to become a real estate investor. Colette, can you introduce yourself and get us started?
Of course I can. Hi everybody, my name is Colette Rava. I'm a residential real estate broker in the GTA. It's a tongue twister sometimes. But anyway, Araceli and I love to do the show because we love talking about real estate, finances, and how they always work together. So we get the question quite often, how can I start thinking, or what can I do to set goals to become a real estate investor? So we have our top 4 little tidbits that we want to give you today. And the first one is, do you want to start?
Yeah, it's know your personality and lifestyle. So personality is very important because if you want to, let's say, get a renter in your house, it might not be something that you want to do, right?
Right.
And the same, your lifestyle, like you have you might not even have room in your house to do it.
Right. Or if you're really busy and you don't want to be a landlord, how can you be? Maybe silent investor is a better idea. If you have, deep pockets and you just want to take, a portion of your money and diversify and put it into this and put it into this. And one of those things can be as a lender to somebody who already has a property they want to have as an investment property. So there's all these different ways of knowing your personality and your lifestyle and how much time and energy and effort you want to do doing this thing. So and honestly, so number 2, they work hand in hand because number 2 is about timing.
Yeah.
The timing is, when do you want to get started? How much time do you have to commit to being an investor like a landlord? And number 3, timing as far as exit strategy. Do you want to flip? Do you want to just invest for a year? Do you want to have an assignment sale? So there's a lot of really detailed work there.
Yeah.
But ultimately it goes under the category of timing.
Yeah. And number 3 is know your numbers. And basically there's 2 things. First is your own personal number as your financial position. And then second, know what kind of properties you want to acquire, because then you will know how much you qualify for, or if you are qualified for, and what steps you need to take in order to get there.
Right. And so investing has to do with, buying low, selling high sort of thing, right? So that goes under the category of knowing your numbers as well. And during that time, if you have an idea on ROI, which stands for return on investment, you'll know how much money. So let's say you want to rent out your basement to get started, an easy way to do it, or just a room. Know how much you expect to make from that. And does that go back to number 1 to say, yes, I can handle it because now I'm a landlord, and yes, I can spend the time. So all the 4 things have to do with one another. So number 4 is? Number 4 is to know your skills. That is super important because if, for example, Colette and I, we both like working in the properties, right? Like we do demolition. I do minor things in the house, right? And
But if you are not the kind of person that likes doing that, then it might be a little bit more difficult.
Right, and it's not just about doing the work yourself, but understanding if a plumber comes to you, that you understand what he's talking about and the scope of the job and what he's saying. Because if you really don't have the skills yourself, you still have to understand what they're talking about and if this is the right way to go. Because if he's saying, oh, you need this and you need that, and he wants to charge you more money, and it's something that you don't really need, you have to at least do a little research on it, and you might not be able to do it yourself. And we never recommend doing electrical or plumbing yourself. Always hire professionals, and obviously structural too, but that's a whole other show. But when it comes to skills, at least know what they're talking about and understand structure and what you're looking at when it comes to real estate buildings themselves.
Yeah. And it's not only when people are coming to give you a quote, but just to detect the issue. You can say, oh, this crack is not good. I better go and talk to somebody. Or maybe that crack is not a problem at all. It's
Right.
nothing, right? And the same with electrical. If I'm going to be changing a fixture,
Yeah.
I can do that myself. I don't need an electrician, right?
Right.
Do it. But it's still, you need a little bit of skills to understand, can I do this kind of work?
Absolutely.
Anything that is small, painting, changing a light fixture, maybe repairing a wall, all
Right.
of that kind of stuff, I can do it myself. I know exactly how much, like if I'm going to hire somebody because I don't have the time, I know how much they're going to charge me because I know roughly how long it will take to do.
Right. And that's the thing too. So Araceli and I talk to the experts, talk to people who've gone before you, because when it comes to something, I have a great example too. Yours is with electrical, mine is with plumbing. Not all plumbing is not all leaks are from the taps. Sometimes they actually leak from the drains, and that's sometimes a much easier solution to figure out, okay, I got to snake the drain so it doesn't clog and leak, as opposed to having to change out a whole fixture and have a big nightmare and ripping out walls and stuff like that. So when Araceli and I talk about skills, it's just the smallest portion is to be aware of what you're looking at and know how to assess.
Yeah, and even
That's
if you're not
it.
even if you're not gonna fix it yourself, but at least you know that this is something that needs further to look at in order
Right.
to get it repaired to a level.
Exactly.
Another thing that is a good skill, and this is actually where I came from, is project management. And project management requires certain abilities to time the different operations that you're doing, and obviously the money, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes some things can be overlapped, so it means you can do two things at the same time, but sometimes you cannot, right? Like the biggest example that I have is if you're going to do any rerouting of electrical, you're doing, let's say, a new bathroom or a new kitchen, and you need to reroute all the electrical, you're not going to paint the wall before the electrical is installed. So those are kind of things that can happen. In my opinion, it's pretty logical, but what I think is logical, it may not be very logical for other people.
That's right. Especially, we're talking about new investors. So people who, just want to make it look pretty and they want to do a quick flip. That's great. But there's a lot of savvy people out there that will look beyond that nice paint job to see if the wiring, to see if the plumbing is ready. And that goes back to your number 3, to know your numbers. Don't overspend and go crazy, but also to do the valuable stuff that will make the property more valuable in the long run. So that's it for today, I think, right?
Yeah, that's it. So just to do a summary, so if you are looking to align your goals, right? So there's 4 things that you need to look at it. First of all is your personality and lifestyle. See what you can do. Then obviously the second one is timing. When do you want to start doing it? And how much time can you dedicate to this? Number 3, know your numbers. Yeah.
Sorry to go. And the last thing for number 2 is to actually know your exit strategy. Do you want to flip? And that has to do with personality too.
Yeah.
But are you going to sell right away? Are you going to hold it? Are you going to just have a quick investment of 12 months? So that timing has a big category.
Absolutely. Then number 3 is know your numbers, your personal numbers. The stronger you are financially, the easier it's going to be for you to do it, because the easier it's going to be for you to qualify to get another another mortgage, another property, or maybe if you don't have enough for that, maybe you can put it into another investment in real estate that you can be a passive investor. And the last one is your skills. If you are looking to do the dirty work, right? Are you going to be willing to put the sweat equity into the property to do some of the work yourself so you can save some money? Or are you going to be hiring somebody because you don't have the skills at all? So all of that plays a big part. So
And
I hope this helps for you to clarify how to get started, right?
Yeah, and they all have, one has to do with the other. So skills has to do with timing. You know, if you do it yourself, is it going to take you longer, or to hire someone? So all those top 4 things that we've talked about today have to do with one another. So we always like to say, think about all those things at the same time to get the best outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't know where to start, you can always give us a call. And we are, happy to help and see if there's anything that we can at least get you started. Because I think the biggest thing is, where do I start, right?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Real estate is very appealing to a lot of people, but getting started is where people get lost. So we're here to help.
Yay!
Okay, and I hope this clarifies everything. So we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, Colette. We'll see you later. Bye. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.